Welcome to Quiet and Set's Christmas Top 15 list. Yeah, top 15 list. That makes most sense. So, yeah. Does me, the other Kev, does the Kev, and then the Stobie. Stobie's voice is a bit off, so he sounds a little bit robot-y, innit? But I doubt you'll even notice. And Kev has his own little bit. So I'm just going to do my bit first, and my top 5 Christmas movies, and the movies I watch around Christmas, and I try to watch around Christmas. And I'll have Stobie's, and then I'll have the Kev, and then I'll have my, goodbye and all that. So, in no particular order, my first Christmas movie I usually like watching is A Muppet's Christmas Carol. Just because I've been watching it, the story, A Christmas Carol has been in different mediums, has been done for years and years and years and years. Everyone does A Christmas Carol at one point. The Simpsons, I don't think I've done it yet. I'm not sure about if the Simpsons have done it, but everyone has done it. And the only way to do it the best way is with Muppets. And I think they did a really good job with the Muppets. Michael Caine. It was the first time I ever actually was introduced to Michael Caine, because I started watching that, and I had my oldest brother had the VHS, and it was a green box. It was really weird, and I'd watch every single Christmas, and I still watch every single Christmas. And I think we got the VHS when I was 5 or 6, so I've been watching it a very long time. My second movie is Scrooged. Bill Murray at his finest. Again, it is a take on A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol. But this time, instead of being festive with Muppets and Kermit and all these different characters, it's full of life, businessmen, assholes, what the 80s looked like to everyone. And Bill Murray has, again, he sees the ghost of Christmas past, present, and yet to be. And it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. My number 3, well, again, not in any particular order, is a movie that I started watching when I was around 13 or 14, and it's Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burke's. I really want to hope that's Tim Burke. Great stop motion animation. Really kind of takes a different twist and turn to the Christmas story. It's not all cheers and good for all mankind and all this. And that's a movie I've always enjoyed. Next one is any Star Wars movie. I'll watch any Star Wars movie at any point during Christmas. No matter what, I will watch my Star Wars movie. I've already watched The Last Jedi twice, and I'm probably going to see it a third time. Any of them works well. It works well. It works great. It's fun. It's a bit of fun. And finally, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's a newish movie, only out a few years, and I remember reading the book and going, this book is amazing, and then seeing the film and going, this film is amazing. And it's just about a troubled boy who makes friends, and then you get to find out all the shit that's gone on in his life, and then you find out all the trials he has to go through and reconciling with past events, and it's a great Christmas movie. And with that, I will pass it on to Stobie, and I'll see you at the end.
Miracle on 34th Street is the quintessential Christmas movie, has a great innocence and childish wonder, an absolute must. The Santa Claus is another must for Christmas time. Combines Tim Allen's sarcastic wit with Christmas cheer. Muppets A Christmas Carol combines the story of Dickens with the Muppets' adorably hilarious charm. Lethal Weapon and Die Hard are a back-to-back for me in the holiday season. Good action set around Christmas with Lethal Weapon has a core sense of family and kinship that goes with the season. And finally, a trilogy that came out forever ago at Christmas, and since I've owned them are a staple of my Christmas time. The Lord of the Rings. They are charming and endearing, and there's a little bit of everything in them.
So I'm just gonna quickly discuss my top 5. Now, when I was choosing these, I went with Christmas films, okay? Because there are other films that people might not necessarily consider Christmas films, but I may do. Or it's just that time of year I always like to watch some of my favourite films at Christmas. But for this episode and for this purpose, because it is top 5 Christmas films, I'm strictly sticking to actual Christmas films, not just films that I like to watch at Christmas. They're kind of probably boring because they're predictable. They're cliched Christmas films, the films that everyone likes, but unfortunately I don't have anything original or unique in regards to Christmas films. You know, I'm like everyone else. I like the classics, or the ones at least I think are classics that I grew up with in the 90s and, you know, have stood the test of time for me. I still like watching them to this day. Yeah, so if you're expecting something incredible, I am sorry if I disappoint you, because I just don't have anything amazing. So I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1, 1 being my favourite. Okay, so this is a film that I think a lot of people go, really, because I don't think it was that well received, but I always loved it. I seen it in the cinema when it came out. I can't remember the year. I think it was 2000, maybe 2001, could be wrong. It's that long ago, I feel old. And I recently watched it. I didn't set out to watch it now. Although these are my favourite films to watch at Christmas, a lot of the time I don't actually get a chance to sit down and watch Christmas films. But this just happened to be on telly one night. I came in, so I just left it on because, obviously, as I said, it's a film that I enjoy watching. Still to this day, every year it's just one of those films. So number 5 on my list is The Grinch. So Jim Carrey, The Grinch. Don't know what it is about this film. It's just always been something about it that I've liked since a child. I enjoyed it. It's a bit bizarre. What's it with Whoville? I guess maybe it's just because it's Jim Carrey, and I loved Jim Carrey, you know, in the 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I just think he does a great job as the Grinch. I really enjoyed it. It's a feel-good film, I guess, of the Grinch becoming good and saving Christmas rather than ruining it. Not much more to really say about it, other than the fact, for whatever reason, I just have always liked it, and I continue to like it. I never really outgrew it. It's not a film that I hear a lot of people talk about, though. I don't think a lot of people actually like The Grinch, and it wasn't well received from most people. But for me, it was obvious one of those films. So number 4 on my list is probably everybody's favourite Christmas film, at least of the last, I don't know, 2 decades. I think I recently seen something that this film was voted the greatest Christmas film of the last decade, or whatever it was. It's out more than a decade now, though. But another cliched Christmas film answer. But Elf, Will Ferrell, Elf 2003. Yeah, kind of self-explanatory, I think. Who doesn't like Elf? Surprisingly, actually, we were discussing this, me and a few friends, the other day, Elf, because it's Christmas time. It's Will Ferrell, and one of my friends have never seen it, which you could imagine the shock horror from everyone else when it's like a cardinal sin. You haven't seen that. It's a Christmas film. It's a classic, and you haven't seen that. So he couldn't understand it because he's just not a big Will Ferrell fan, which is, again, big sin, big no-no with me, because how can you not like Will Ferrell and Christmas? But he's just never seen it, and it's like, how have you never seen Elf? It's just one of those films. Everybody loves it. It's always on. It's guaranteed to be on. I don't know how many times over Christmas. Everybody probably owns it on DVD anyway. But yeah, like it's just Will Ferrell. He's great. It's a great film. It's a bit of an original film as well, because although that came out in 2003, there's, as I said, the other films are kind of classics that have been out 20-30 years, so that was kind of a newish one at the time that wasn't well received by everyone. And it still is. It's still one of those films that everybody wants to watch every year. It kind of like, it's that film, like the certain films, and that's one of them. When Elf comes on telly, you know it's Christmas time. But yeah, I think it's the fact that it's very comedy driven. It was just a unique idea. And yeah, like that's number 4 on my list. So number 3 is Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Again, this kind of film, especially in the 90s, for me that was the film. I always loved Jingle All the Way. It was just any time that was on, that was the film I wanted to watch. It's just love Arnie, of course, but I don't know what it was about it. I just really loved watching it as a kid at Christmas time. I just love the concept, and I love that it's all over a toy action superhero figure. But yeah, no, like that's number 3 on my list because it's just one of those timeless classics. That is your Christmas film. Don't really see that on telly as much though, to be honest with you. It's not one that I see a whole lot of. I could be wrong, but I just compared to say Elf and The Grinch, it just feels like Jingle All the Way is almost a forgotten film. It's also one that you don't really these days hear a lot of people talk about when they mention Christmas films. But I just don't think you can talk about Christmas films and not mention Jingle All the Way. Number 2 on my list, which shocker, Home Alone. I could give a cop-out answer and cheat and say Home Alone 1 and 2. I'm just gonna say that, yeah. But Home Alone, just to me, obviously, yes, it's a Christmas film. But the thing with Home Alone is, it's pretty much an all-year film. You can watch it anytime. I don't just watch it at Christmas. I guess that's what makes me like it even more, that it is technically a Christmas film. But then again, it doesn't have to be Christmas time to watch it because it's not purely a Christmas film. It's about a young boy left at home and, stopping burglars. It's not actually about Christmas. It just has the theme of Christmas in it. So you can kind of watch it any time around the year, I guess. But I've always loved Home Alone. Who doesn't? It's a classic. It is probably in most people's, opinion, the best Christmas film. I know you're gonna go, why is number 2 on your list then? I'll get to number 1 in a minute. But it was a hard one given that second place. But Home Alone it's a timeless classic. It is a Christmas film. It is one of the best Christmas films. It came out, I think it was 1990. I'm not getting old here, forgetting all my years. I don't think it was 91. Pretty sure it's 1990. Could be wrong, but that's when I was born. So I really did grow up with that film. That is purely a 90s film. Anyone that grew up in the 90s knows what that means. Yeah, I've just always loved it. I love all the well, at least the first 3 Home Alones, especially the first 2. Never outgrew it. Never. I've always loved it to this day. It's just one of those films that it doesn't matter how old it gets. It's just timeless. It stands up the test of time. And number 1 on my list is, this is a funny one because it's always a split opinion. It's always 50-50, I feel. And I have this argument nearly every year, and I think a lot of people do. Die Hard. Is it or isn't it a Christmas film? If it makes the list every year, it's always on must watch or greatest Christmas films of all time, and it's always there. But a lot of people don't think it's a Christmas film, and I can understand that to an extent, and I get why they feel that way. I'm not even going to argue that they don't think it's a Christmas film. Whatever, that's their opinion. I don't really give much of a crap. But for me, it is. It's obviously because it has a Christmas theme to it. Again, it's similar to Home Alone. It's not actually about Christmas. It just has a theme of Christmas in it. But it's a Christmas film. It's always going to be on a Christmas. It's again one of those films you don't have to watch it just at Christmas. You can watch Die Hard any time of the year you want. But Christmas comes around, it's one of those Die Hard films. I'm going to watch Die Hard. You can't. No. It's number 1 for me because it's just an excellent film. Storyline wise, character wise, Bruce Willis at his best. Yeah, so that's my Christmas list. My top 5 favourite Christmas films of all time. Yeah, It was short and sweet. Didn't get into much because I know Kev and Stobie have to do theirs as well. Yeah, so thanks for listening and enjoy your Christmas.